Okay, good afternoon. So these are the questions on PRI and statutory as well as constitutional bodies. Some questions are easy, you can directly answer. So if the Panchayat is dissolved, election should be held within what time? So straight away it is 6 months. The fundamental objective of Panchayati Raj system is to ensure which among the following? Your last 20 seconds. So how many of you got C is the answer? How many of you got D is the answer? So here they are given fundamental objective. Fundamental means most important objective. So political accountability is not the most important objective of Panchayati Raj. Financial mobilization is also not there. First of all, Panchayati Raj is not financially empowered only. So the answer is what? 1 and 3. C is the answer. Next question. Yes, what will be the answer? So how many of you say B is the answer? So easy question. First statement is wrong. It is 21. It is not 25. Second to 100% correct. It is for remaining period. Next question. Yes, time is up. So how many of you say B? How many of you say C? Both 1 and 2. First statement though wrong, because they will also allow criminal cases, but not all criminal cases. The non-serious ones are allowed. Petty cases are allowed. Second statement is correct, because you have what you can say, social activities and mediators. No. Yeah, they can act as reconciliators. So answer is B. That is 2 only. So and remember, Gram Nalayas, there is an act called as Gram Nalaya Act 2008. The head of it will be Grama Adhikari, which is Nyaya Adhikari, the position order. It is equivalent to that of a judge of a district court. That's local self-government can be best explained as an exercise in How many of you go with D? Okay. How many of you go with B? Answer is simple, B. Democratic decentralization. Because here the best explained. Because you cannot tell in a local self-government the element of direct democracy, that people only make laws, etc. There is more avenues for people. So power has been decentralized. So if you look at the idea behind local self-government is democratic decentralization. So answer is B. So these are some questions where you can still go wrong. Why? Because it might be tempting between B and D. So that's why I told, like, more number of questions what you solve, it will give you that kind of experience for you to choose the better option. You get a point? So only reading, what will happen, you can read to a certain extent. Beyond that, there is not much you can do through reading. It's only through solving, and solving also, the way you need to solve is that what some people will do, they'll just keep looking at answer and going. So when you need to solve a question, you only take any random question paper. Let us think there's a random topic only. Okay, for example, let us think something, something science and technology, there was some technology which is there. First you apply your logic, see what can be the answer. It might be wrong also many times, but you can learn from it. But many times what you'll also gain is that sometimes if you observe the statements carefully, you'll get the answer correct. Again, it requires patience, it requires you to closely observe these statements. Many times what will happen is that you are prefixed, means once you see a question you have not read, okay, I am not going to answer this question, or I can't answer this question, I don't know about it. But many times in exam, if you actually calmly think, you will be able to get the answer. Okay, that's why I told that requires practice. That's why I told this can't be taught. This component what I am telling, that cannot be taught in a classroom. That should come through self practice. What you can teach in a classroom is that you can say what type of questions have come, okay, what is the content, that can be taught in a classroom. But nobody can teach you saying that, okay, how do you think? Like some people will, two options will come, always I go for the wrong option. What is the solution for it? There is no solution for it. It's only purely practice what you have to do. Okay, so here it is what? Democratic decentralization. Next question. So you marked your answers. What is the answer? How many of you go with C? Plain and simple, it's correct, because central government cannot start. If you have studied out the 73rd Constitutional Amendment Act, it is the state government or the state assembly which can devolve that power to the panchayats. So answer is C. Next question. Now what will be the answer? How many of you say C is the answer? Okay, why you think C is wrong? Any parvailla? Only 18 years and over. I'll ಕೊಟ್ಟಿರೋದು all persons in electoral rolls of the village. So obviously answer is D, because it is in proportion to the population of SC and ST. Get a point? So that's why I told many times ಕೆಲವರು ಹೆಂಗಂದ್ರೆ ಕೆಲವರು techniques all only immediate statement wrong ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳಕ್ಕೆ. Gone are all those days. UPSC is also smart. Get a point? If you evolve, even they will evolve. So what will happen is that blindly they'll apply it. Last year also one student, I think when Shashank sir had sent us, he had generally told when statement is all only you think. Students ಹೆಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, they'll fix into them. Okay, ಸರ್ ಹೇಳಿದರೆ ಆಲ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಬಂದರೆ ಎತ್ಬಿಡಿ, ಇವತ್ತು ಪಕ್ಕ ಇರಲ್ಲ. ಎಷ್ಟು ಈಸಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ಕರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ನಂದು 2023 ಪೇಪರ್ ಡಮ್. ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಕೌಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ ನಂಗೆ ಆಲ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ. So you have to read it carefully and you have to make an assessment of what they have given. So we cannot always go by the statement when it is all or only. You can 2 times look at it, but you should not straight away come to the fact that okay, it will be wrong. So answer here is D, because it is in proportion to their population. For women it should be not less than 1/3. It can be more than 1/3 if that state wants. For example, 21 states in India have made reservation 50% for women. Okay, for SC and ST it is in proportion to their population. These are all mandatory under the 73rd Act. The OBC reservation, it is not mandatory, it is left to the respective state legislative assembly. Last 20 seconds. Time is up. What will be the answer? How many of you say A is the answer? I told which of the following statement is correct? ये हिंग आगते हैं 2 only हिंग आगा chance है. First statement 100% correct na. The election of Panchayat is conducted by State Election Commission. Second statement is incorrect. It is not Chief Election Commission. It is the governor of the state. Third statement is also correct. Regarding any elections, it is the state legislature which can make laws. So answer is D. That is 1 and 3. Plain away, straight away. Time up. What is the answer? Okay, how many of you say C is the answer? Okay, why the first statement is wrong? Okay. So all these seats in Panchayats, they are directly only elected by people. Chairperson position matra, the seats in Panchayats are all directly elected by people at all 3 stages. District Panchayat, Zilla Panchayat and what Taluka Panchayat, all the Panchayat seats are elected by people. It is only the position of chairperson. Again, that is not a seat, the position of chairperson. So, person who is elected to the seat of Panchayat, he can become the chairperson. And that in some states it is indirect elections. So if you read the statement carefully, all the seats in a Panchayat are directly elected at all 3 stages. First statement is correct. Second statement, Gram Sabha, is correct. Third statement is correct. Fourth statement is incorrect, because all the states in India do not have 3 tier Panchayats. So those states which have population less than 20 lakhs, they can have 2 tier Panchayats. Answer is what? 1, 2 and 3. So if you take seats in Panchayat, in the sense if you take chairperson, that is not a seat, it is a position. But all the seats, even the chairperson who is there, he is also directly elected as a member of Panchayat. Only to the position what there, they will bring indirect elections. So in that regard, your answer will be what? 1, 2 and 3. Last 30 seconds. Time up. So what will be the answer? What will be the answer? The answer is A, that is Panchayat committees. So ಇವೆಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಓದಿರಬೇಕು ಲೋಕ ಅದಾಲತ್ ಆಕ್ಟ್ ಲೋಕ ಅದಾಲತ್ ಯಾರ್ಯಾರು. So you can have Supreme Court also can create legal services committees, High Court can also create, district authority can do, but Panchayat committees are not related to these things. So answer is what? A. So one of the thing you'll have to do is that while solving the questions, so you have to look into Lok Adalat, the provisions related to Lok Adalat. So for example, can you take a case which is pending in High Court to Lok Adalat? You can, if both parties agree. So if you take a case to Lok Adalat, will your fees be refunded? What's your point? After the clearing case, it will be refunded. So how you can know andre solving other questions. You are in a point. So one of the reason why you find prelims difficult many times is that because there is random information given. It is very random many times. And how to overcome that random information? The only one thing is that you have to solve more number of questions. That's what I told you. If you keep solving a lot of questions and if you keep reading about it, so in prelims the advantage is that you don't need to recall everything and write everything. If you are able to have photographic memory and when you look at the statement, if you are able to make an assessment, that would be sufficient. Mains is a different ball game. Mains you'll have to write answers. But that's what I told, for mains you don't need so much of information on. Mains is more analysis. You can write Lok Adalats, okay, they help in bringing down the number of pending cases in courts, etc. They'll more economical because no fees is required. Mains generally you can write, but in prelims what will happen, you will have to know, okay, Lok Adalats, under which act they are established. Legal Services Authorities Act 1987. So these kind of things you will have to know for your prelims, and that's why I told for prelims, if the problem what many people will do is that one, they don't solve sufficient questions, okay, and that you'll only come to know if you are with a person who has consistently cleared prelims. That is one more bigger problem. So like how many of you are surrounded with at least 3-4 people who have cleared prelims among your close friends, etc.? 1 or 2. Others you are not surrounded. So when you are not surrounded with them, what will happen? You won't get an idea that you know how they are able to do it, how why you are not able to do it. And many of them, they would have solved 500 questions, 400 questions on each subject continuously, rigorously. What these people will be doing, remaining people, simple 24-hour strategy, crash course. 24 hours you will become next genius or thing. You are only going to crash. There is nothing else. Plain and simple. Something which is told in 2 classes, you can't digest it if unless you have read it multiple times. Okay, crash course will help. Whom it will help? One who is already ready with the exam, who just want to do some kind of revision, or he just wants to know some additional information, maybe he has missed out. But for a person who has not read at all, if he goes and sits in a classroom with just notes taking, unnecessarily notes taking, and what you, at the end of the day, what will you retain? You can't be able to retain these things unless you have solved multiple times. And that's why I told, the problem is that here what happens, many of you have not surrounded with people who are clearing prelims regularly. Again, one, that time what happens, you won't get an assessment. You are with your own assessment. That's why I told, this library Anna Akka culture. ನಮ್ಮ ಅಣ್ಣ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ನಮ್ಮ ಅಕ್ಕ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ರು, ಆ ಅಣ್ಣ ಅಕ್ಕ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ಬೇಕು. ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಡಿಗ್ರೇಡಿಂಗ್ ದೆಮ್, ಬಟ್ ಅನ್ಲೆಸ್ ದೇ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ಡ್, ಹೌ ವಿಲ್ ದೇ ನೋ? And what they will try to do, they will try blindly implement some formula like shortcut. Okay, what this thing, diagrams, Venn diagrams, ಅಷ್ಟಲ್ಲೇ ಓದ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಮುಗ್ದೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಯಾವಂದ್ರೆ ಫೈನಲ್ ಸ್ಟೇಜ್. ನೀನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಓದಿ, ನೀನು ಎಲ್ಲ ಇದೆ, ನೀವು ವೆನ್ ಡಯಾಗ್ರಾಮ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯು ಆರ್ ಗೆಟಿಂಗ್ ಎ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್. ಸೊ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಐ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಗಿವ್ ಯು ಅ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ and now tell read this plan. How will you able to read the plan if you don't know the basics of planning? Same way, it is ready made material. Toppers notes sync ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ನು ನೋಟ್ಸ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. He has made notes for him, not for you. Got the point? And that's why I told, for clearing prelims you don't need to go anywhere. ಅವನು ನಮ್ಮ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ ಹೋಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ, ಅವನು ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕು, ನಮ್ಮ ಮಾಮ ಹೇಳ್ತವ್ರೆ ಡೆಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋದ್ರೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ತುಂಬ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರುತ್ತೆ, ಹೇಳಿ 2 ಲಕ್ಷ ಶೇವ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಬರ್ತೀಯ ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಏನೋ ಅದು. ನಥಿಂಗ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ದ ಟ್ರೂತ್. ಅದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಟಿಲ್ ಯು ಗೋ ದೇರ್, ಯು ಸ್ಟೇ ದೇರ್, ಏನೋ ಅಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್, ಏನೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ, ಏನೋ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. That's what I told. It's different. To clear this exam, you can clear from any part of India, but you have to know the right approach. And that's what I told. When solving questions, it's not only looking at this. You'll have to now open net. Then you have to look also into it. Okay, what else is there? Okay. And while reading, what kind of information you have to focus on? Maybe there will be something very unique in that. Okay. So, for example, NGT, National Green Tribunal. Point is not remembering which acts are covered on it. The point is to remember which act it does not cover, and you have to know the logic behind it. Wildlife Protection Act 1972 does not come under NGT. That is factual thing you can know. Logically you can also guess it won't come. What is the logic there? Factually one you can know, Wildlife Protection Act does not come under NGT. But what is the logic behind you thinking that this Wildlife Protection Act might not come under NGT? Because NGT is a tribunal. It does not have criminal powers, it has only civil jurisdiction. But if you take under Wildlife Protection Act 1972, there are a lot of things like smuggling in animals, it's all criminal activity. So that is why NGT cannot deal with the cases under Wildlife Protection Act. Got the point? So many times, as I told, if you study logically in that regard, there is no need to remember things, you will be able to get things correct. But many times what students will do, they will just try to remember things as per se. And that's what I told. If somebody asks like, will the class notes be enough? That I can't say. That will depend upon how much you have solved and which class notes you are reading. Getting point? Unless you have solved question, you will be the correct person to assess. Okay, notes saakagata, notes saakagala. But students don't do that. What they do, they will go for easy things. Easy things what? Ella barsi, class al barsi idara. Hang barsakate. It's impossible to write everything, right? Art and culture, I think sir can tell you, okay, what are the different architecture that is there, but sir can't make you write. Let us say, like I think 2 years back they asked a question on some temple, okay, which Prime Minister Modi inaugurated. I think in Gujarat, right, some temple. That is one more temple, Ujjain temple or something. They had asked a question saying that, information is random. They have asked that this temple was recently inaugurated by Prime Minister Modi. This temple is one of the Shiv linga which is there, and they have told this temple's founding stone was laid down by Radha Krishna or something. They have given this and all. It's not very easy to read. It would have come in news at that point of time, and that time when you read, there is a story also behind it. There is a story behind it. The story was that at that point of time, the president was Rajendra Prasad, and he was invited to inaugurate the temple, and Nehru told Rajendra Prasad, you should not go. Being the president, you should not go. And so Rajendra Prasad told, no, that is different. I am going because end of the day I believe in Hindu philosophy and it's my personal thing. I can go and inaugurate. And against the wishes of the PM, he went and inaugurated. That was the issue at that point of time. So that had come in newspaper someday when Prime Minister Modi went and inaugurated. They had given a history regarding what had happened, etc. Who can read that random piece of information? Remember, these are the questions you can't tell that 100% you will get it correct in the exam. That's what I told. These all come in those categories where you say you may get it correct, you may also get it wrong. But let us think these kind of questions you will have to get it correct in the exam. It's not something randomly they have asked. This is something what you have read. Understood? Questions can be also random. That's what I told. Art, architecture, environment also in recent times. it's becoming more unpredictable. So for example, they're asking leopard and lion, what are similarities or dissimilarities. But that's what I told, economy, polity, geography and history to a certain extent. Questions are more predictable, and that's what I told, here you have to not make any mistake. If you lose out marks here, then getting correct in other areas depends upon, as I told, okay, if somebody has read that, they might get it correct. Because that kind of information nobody can know, whether it is Rajendra Prasad or it is Radha Krishna, very specific information. So remember here, Lok Adalat, read about Lok Adalat also. Okay, please remember here, even High Court Legal Services Committee is also possible. Okay, but there is nothing called as Panchayat Committee has the power to create Lok Adalats. And Lok Adalats you can only go if both parties agree to it. Fair point. And the decision given by Lok Adalat is final and it is binding. Last 30 seconds. Time up. What will be the answer? How many of you got D? Plain and simple answer is D, because what the legislative council of a state in India can be larger than half of the legislative assembly. No, it be 1 by 10th. Second, governor of a state nominates the 1 by 10th or 1/3. It is 1/3 of the total strength of the legislature, not 1 by 10th, 1/3. Governor of a state nominates the chairperson of the legislature. Governor does not nominate the chairperson of a legislative, council of a particular state. Okay, they are chosen by the house. So here the answer will be what? Neither 1 or 2. And not all states in India have legislative council. How many states in India have legislative? 6 states have legislative. With reference to legislative assembly of a state, consider the following statements. Time up. What will be the answer? So answer is both 1 and 2. So first statement though correct. If you have followed the recent Tamil Nadu issue also, you can say the inaugural address created issue. Second statement though correct. If there is no rule for a particular state, then they will follow the rules of the Lok Sabha. So yes, how many of you written the answer? So what is the answer? How many of you say C? People confuse about that. It is president in consultation with the governor. So first statement is incorrect. Second statement is correct. So you don't need to have one state you might be scheduled tribe, another state you might not be a scheduled tribe. So more of a factual question. If you know the fact, you can get it correct. See, 1 to 356 you can remove. That can't be there because it is related to president's rule. What will be the answer? The answer is B, that is Article 169. And what is the procedure for creation of legislative or abolition of legislative council? With what majority? A special majority, and parliament should pass the law with simple majority. Time up. What will be the answer? How many of you say it is A? How many of you say something else is the answer? 1, 3 and 4. No. The answer is A. 1, 2 and 3. Home Minister is a chairperson. Okay, ex officio chairperson. So if you see the recent amendment, what they did in 2002, CMs of the state, governor of the state, and you also have 3 members who are nominated with. So all these people are what? Members of the commission. So answer is what? A. 1, 2 and 3. And remember this Northeastern Zonal Council, it has been created under a separate act. The other zonal councils are created under which act? State Reorganization Act 1956. And where is the headquarters of the Northeast Zonal Council? It is Meghalaya, it is Shillong. Next question. Last 25 seconds. Time up. Okay, so see, ಯಾರು ಹೇಳಿ ಯಾರು ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಇವಾಗ. So how it can be see, it is not on behalf of the prime minister, it is on behalf of the president. So first statement is incorrect. Second statement, it is correct. So what do you mean by demand for a grant? Not only extra money, it is the money that is required for the financial year for the governments to spend. Okay. So no demand for grant can be made without the prior recommendation of the president. So take the budget, the demand for a grant comes in the 4th stage of the budget. 5th stage is appropriation bill, 6th stage is finance bill. So answer is what? Answer is Two only. First statement is incorrect. It is in the name of the president, not prime minister. So time up. What will be the answer? So basically it is only one. Which one? It is NCBC. So it was created. It was given constitutional status under which constitutional amendment? Or not? Really? Or not? 94th. 102nd constitutional, 101st is GST, 102nd is NCVC, 103rd is EWS, 104th if you take it is that OBC reservation for state, they can maintain a separate list as per se. So 102nd it is National Commission for Backward Classes. And this thing, this law commission, what kind of body is it? It's a executive body. Okay, National Consumer Dispute Redressal Commission, statutory body. NHRC, statutory body. So recently there was appointment of new chairperson to NHRC. So look into NHRC details, it can come in the exam. Next question. Yes, time up. What will be the answer? Answer is plain and simple C, all of the three. Three simple statements. The self-help groups was originally initiated by state. No, I think two statements are correct. It was not State Bank of India. Okay, it was not originally brought by State Bank of India. It was some other bank, cooperative bank or something. It was not State Bank of India. Second and third statement are correct. So answer will be only two. ಅದು ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಕ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ ದಿ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಆಫ್ ಸೆಲ್ಫ್ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಗ್ರೂಪ್ಸ್. So this is an assertion reasoning question. First you have to identify whether both statements are correct, then examine the relationship between two statements. ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಸ್ಟೂಡೆಂಟ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಕಮ್ಮಿ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ, ಕ್ಲಾಸಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಓನ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು 75% ಅಲ್ವಾ. ಓಕೆ 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 ಓಕೆ. Yeah, what will be the answer? So logically answer is second one, that is B. So assertion means duty of CAG is not merely to ensure legality of the expenditure, also propriety. Propriety means the logic or the idea behind the expenditure. Second one, why he has to do that? Because he has to uphold the constitution laws of the parliament in the field of financial administration. So both A and R are correct, and if you look at R is the correct explanation for A. So answer is 2. Next question. Time up. So many of you say D. So logically correct, like encourages inflow of foreign capital, that is no connection to finance commission. Finance commission largely distributes funds between center and states, that is horizontal devolution, vertical devolution. It facilitates proper distribution of finances among PSUs, that has nothing connected to finance commission. Transparency in financial administration is CAG, not finance commission. Finance commission only deals with how much funds has to be distributed between center and states and between states. Yes, what will be the answer? So the answer is easy, 1, 2 and 3, because he can take part in the proceedings of Lok Sabha. He can be also a member of any committee in Lok Sabha, and he can also speak in Lok Sabha, but he won't have the right to vote, because to vote you need to be a member of the house. Yes, what will be the answer? Time is up. Is first statement correct? Incorrect ಅಲ್ವಾ ಅಷ್ಟೊಂದು ದಿನ ತಲೆ ಕೆಡಿಸ್ಕೊಂಡು ಇವಾಗ ಓದಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು 100% ಎಮರ್ಜೆನ್ಸಿ ಟೈಮಲ್ಲಿ ಇಫ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅ ಪಾಯಿಂಟ್ ಯು ವುಡ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ರೆಡ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಸಿನ್ಸ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ ರೆಡ್ ಔಟ್ ಅಬೌಟ್ 100% no, it won't be there. So first statement is incorrect. Last statement also if you take it is incorrect because CAG does not have any kind of judicial powers in that regard. It's just a recommendatory body. So obviously you have to only check second and third statement. So CAG reports on execution of projects or programs by ministers are discussed by the Public Accounts Committee 100%. CAG is considered as the friend philosopher of the Public Accounts Committee. Information from CAG reports can be used by investigation agency to press charges against those who have violated the law. So for example, you take 2G scam in that regard, it was basically based on the CAG report. So answer will be what? 2 and 3 only. Now one of the advantages of reading newspaper, not now, before if you are done, is that if you are reading newspaper regularly, you know what are things happening. So there will be issues where they would have based on CAG report, they would have put a case. So that's why I told reading newspaper has its own advantage. But now don't try to do it because now not the time that you should have done before. But nevertheless, even if you have not read that, you can easily guess the answer here. The answer is 2 and 3 only. C. So one more thing what they do, purposefully give lengthy sentences to confuse the student. So as I told, it's more about you not getting confused and you trusting the information in the knowledge base what you have. Yes, what will be the answer? So all the three statements are correct. The first backward class commission was Kaka Kelkar commission. Second backward class was Mandal commission appointed in 1979, gave its report in 1980. Finally, it was the VP Singh government which implemented and it was upheld in the Indira Sani case. Time is up. So how many of you say what is the answer? A. How many of you say A is the answer? Okay. How many of you say C is the answer? Answer is A. Use logic now. Where you see finance commission mentioning sector specific grants means for this sector this much is there. They only mention grants between center and states. Or even if you had read about 14th finance commission in general in newspaper etc., there was no recommendation where they gave for this sector this is how the division should happen. So there is nothing recommendation made with at least in 14th finance commission there is nothing made with respect to what sector specific grants. So answer is 1 only. Yes, what will be the answer? How many of you say answer is D? So easy question, it is a 3-member body. It is election commission which decides election, not Union Ministry of Home Affairs. And third statement is correct. It is the Election Commission of India which resolves any disputes regarding splits and mergers of recognized parties. So take recent issues between the national is that NCP and Shiv Sena. So you could have made the answer. So consider the following. So what will be the answer? So how many will go with B? So it is only 3. Okay, one you would have known, or second one, even if you use logic, here stable government and governance reforms. So these cannot be measurable indicators. You need to divide funds. You need something which is measurable. So tax and fiscal efforts you can measure, forest ecology you can measure, demographic dividend you can measure, but you can't measure stability of the government, or you can't measure governance reforms. It's very too broad. It should be more specific. So answer will be what? Only 3 statements are correct. Yes, what will be the answer? So answer is 1 and 4. Okay, it is coffee board which is in Bangalore, not tea board. So here, if you keep solving questions and if you keep looking at in these areas, coffee board, tea board, or something you have read in last 1 year current affairs, any other body which is there. So that time if you read about it, you can answer these questions. If you don't know, it will be difficult to answer. So coffee board is in Bangalore. It is not tea board. Tea board is in West Bengal. Okay. So answer is 1 and 4. So the other thing you have to do is that while reading current affairs, etc., if you find across these kind of things, you will have to make a note of it, or you have to be able to remember these things. Which of the following bodies are not mentioned in Constitution? So what will be the answer? How many of you say C? How many say D? So plain simple answer is D. National Development Council, Planning Commission, Zonal Councils, they are not mentioned in Constitution. Zonal Council is a statutory body. Planning Commission and NDC, which Planning Commission does not exist today, but priorly it was a executive body. So answer is what? D. So these are the questions largely asked on what constitutional bodies, statutory bodies, panchayats. So as I said, the see, if you logically see, it's very easy to clear prelims. It's not so difficult. The difficulty only lies in your head, or the difficulty only lies for those people who have not systematically worked. Blind study, what we can say. It's like somebody who tries to do share market blindly. Of course, they are going to bleed very badly. But if you are able to do share market with information, with the skills what you have, it is going to be a profitable venture. Same way here also, if you are able to approach prelims with a strategy, or with a logic, or with the work what you have put in, definitely results will come by. And that's why I told why in our state especially, why we won't get result. As I told, majority of the people, they don't work in a systematic way. They don't work in a systematic way. That's what I told. There are two kinds of process. One is exam oriented process. The other is only knowledge oriented process. Most of the people who come to class, they're all knowledge oriented. Means their end purpose is not to clear the exam. Their end purpose is to feel comfortable. Okay. Or to have that fake sense of confidence. What is fake sense of confidence? ಒಂದು ಪಕ್ಕ ಸೊನ್ನೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಮಗ ಇವತ್ತು 10 ನಾಳೆ 100 ನಾಳೆ 1000. That is not going to take you anywhere. You know, without see, and the second problem here is that it's not about how many hours you are studying. Okay, I've seen many people blindly they'll be sitting and studying from morning till night, writing from here to there, writing something. There is no clear cut strategy what they want to do, and they just keep shifting their strategy, thinking what they're doing something which is very productive. Degree, it will work out. Degree is nothing but you have to score just degree marks, passing marks. Yengo varutte ado. ಇಲ್ಲ ಆ ಥರ ಎಲ್ಲ ಏನು ವರ್ಕೌಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಇಟ್ಸ್ ನಾಟ್ ದಟ್ ಅ ಪರ್ಸನ್ ಹೂ ಸ್ಟಡಿಂಗ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಮಾರ್ನಿಂಗ್ ಟಿಲ್ ನೈಟ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಮೆಟ್ ಮೈ ಫ್ರೆಂಡ್ಸ್, ಐ ಆಮ್ ಸ್ಟಡಿಂಗ್ ವೆರಿ ಸೀರಿಯಸ್, ಸ್ಟಿಲ್ ಯು ವಿಲ್ ಎಂಡ್ ಅಪ್ ನಾಟ್ ಕ್ಲಿಯರಿಂಗ್. Why? Because it's not enough. You have to do what is required for the examination. So you should have done your research on the exam. First and foremost point, it's not just knowing there is prelims, mains and interview. You have to know about how questions are coming in prelims. Okay, why some people are able to crack prelims consecutively. Okay, how that fellow is, so great than me. It's not about great. He's not extra knowledge he has about you. It's purely strategy. It's purely what? Application. Plain and simple, if you are able to bring those things into your process, of course even you are going to get the result. Okay, and it's all about first time. So first time once you clear, then you won't feel it difficult because you have caught hold of the approach. But till that you clear the first time where you lack a kind of understanding, so that time what will happen for you, everything will seem correct, or everything means you are lost in a cause. Like I might say one thing, one more person might say one more thing, so you are confused what to do. The best way to come out of the confusion is that you have to look into question papers, and that's why I keep in every class, in every batches what we have told, please look at PYQs. Even today, if you say, they won't look at PYQs. Today I think I had B7 and B10 batch. Plain simple, modern history classes has completed. If you ask him what question they've asked in mains, they don't know. And what they will do, they'll just blindly write, questions, writing like question like, what are the causes of 1857 revolt? If you look at the question paper, they have not asked like that, causes of 1857 revolt. Right? They've asked questions like what? The naval mutiny in India is the last nail on British coffin. Comment. So they're not difficult to answer. You have to practice them and you have to get used to them. That time your idea will work. But without doing any of those things, and just you blindly sit and if you keep reading, things are not going to work. And that's why I told, prelims is not at all difficult. First, that you get out of your head that prelims is something to do. And or some people have doubts like only 2 months are remaining. Can I do anything? 2 months means 60 days. 60 days is more than enough to create any kind of, to clear prelims it is more than enough. But all you have to do is that you have to spend more time on reading. Why many people will tell 9 hours they're in a class. Then they'll comment tell prelims 60 ದಿನದಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾಡೋದು ಆಗಲ್ಲ. 9 hours class, 9 hours you have to sit and read, then you can clear. And that's what I told. Second one is not run madly behind current affairs. Any one material what you have read, revise it multiple times, attend lot of tests on it, focus more on core subjects, polity, geography, history, economy, environment. Make sure that the percentage of questions what you answer, your attrition rate will be very less, or you get 70% of whatever question you are answering, you are getting it correct. I'm not saying 100% is possible, even 70% is a good rate. So once you have done multiple rounds of revision and solved like 500 questions in each subject, you will be very experienced in writing the prelims exam. That is 100% possible. There are a lot of people who have cleared that way. Okay, many people have struggled with prelims initial days. All they have done is that spend more time on what? Solving questions, understanding the questions, understanding the theme of the questions, how it has come. And that is how they'll be able to succeed. Others what they will do, like what Albert Einstein has told, doing the same thing again and again and expecting the results to change is heights of foolishness. ಮಾಡೋದು ಪ್ರತಿ ಸತಿ ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಅದ್ರ ಏನು ಪ್ರೊಡಕ್ಟಿವ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ? There's nothing protective, right? And that's why I told competition ilve illa. Even the competition is there a lot. 8 lakh people, 7 lakh people. 8 lakh people, 7 is just numbers. They are not competitors. 50,000 people are true competition. Rest 6 lakh 50,000 all, they just apply the exam. No, non-committal, just, or some they don't have understanding of the exam also. Competition is eliminated there only. Half of them don't understand what exam they are writing, how to prepare, etc. They prepare for FD exam also same way. They prepare for UPSC exam also same way, expecting what they are going to clear somehow. So that's why I told competition is within yourself. There's nobody external competition. And that's why I told clearing prelims, if you are a very serious candidate, if you have understood the exam very well, I don't think so it will be a challenge to clear the exam, and it's more of mental thing also. Again, mind, the more you start thinking about yourself in a more positive way, things will happen. Okay, right? The more you start thinking negatively, saying that, okay, prelims alli idu bandubidutte, science and technology 10 question bandubidutte, idrinda 5 question bandubidutte, nanu ode illa. That is not the way to do. That's what we say. The first and foremost is that you have to have confidence on yourself. Okay, I think recently there was this movie release, right? Dragon or something. Pradeep Ranganathan who's there. So if you see one of his interview recently, he told first I have to thank my producer. He was a director of this one more movie called as Komali. So he told Jayam Ravi. And all, even before that I have to thank the producer of his documentary or short movie, Love Today or something, he told. And he told who is the producer? He himself. And he told why? Because at every stage he told, first I had confidence on myself, only then others will get confidence on you. If you only don't have confidence on yourself, how can you expect others to believe that you are going to clear the exam? Plain and simple, na? It is secondary what others think, what I think or what somebody thinks. Even I might think you are wasteful, you won't clear only. That is irrelevant. As long as you believe on yourself that you are going to clear the exam, only then others can also believe that you can do it. But if you yourself don't believe that you can do it, then there is no purpose in doing it. So that's why I told, it is 100% possible. It is also a mental game here also. So why some people are highly confident is that their attitude is that in exam day they will be very confident, saying that okay, today I am going to do well in the exam. Other people, what they would have done, they would have read well, but they'll panic the moment they enter the examination hall. Now everything will go haywire. That's one more category. Like those who are prepared well, among prepared well also, why some people will clear, some people won't clear. It's end of the day how they control their nerves and how they tackle. And that is what we say, experience means if you solve many tests, if you have written many tests, that will give you a lot of experience. You know? So Virat Kohli could not become Virat Kohli unless he played domestic cricket. Years of domestic cricket, that is where he perfected his skill, and that is how he entered the international arena. Same way here also, your tests, your previous year questions, what you solve, it's like your domestic arena before you get on to the international level, that is the actual prelims exam. By then you would have taken a lot of experience with you, because in some papers you would have found some questions which are very difficult. In some papers you have made mistakes in easy questions. So everything is an experience. So once you get experience, you won't. That's what we say now, the difference between amateur and experienced person. An experienced person knows how to handle things even when things go wrong. So unless you don't make mistakes only, then from where you are going to learn? Some people, why they don't write tests, why they don't solve questions, ಭಯ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಸರ್ ನಮಗೆ, ಈ ಟೆಸ್ಟ್ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ 20 ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, 15 ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, 30 ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ ಭಯ ಆಗ್ತಿದೆ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀನಿ. ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಮಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಲ್ಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಏನು ಅದೇನು ಇಂಪ್ರೂವ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಲ್ಲ. ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಯು ಡಿಂಟ್ ರೈಟ್, ಇಟ್ ಡಸಂಟ್ ಮೀನ್ ಇಟ್ ಚೇಂಜಸ್ ದ ರಿಯಾಲಿಟಿ. You are yourself hiding somewhere, saying that okay, I am not going to write my tests, I am not going to look at the marks, I am just going to do every day sit and think I am the next IAS, I am the next IAS. Next IAS ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಕೆಲಸಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋಗಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, next IAS ಆಗಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. So that's what I told, it's plain and simple. Solve questions for prelims. What you are going to do in the exam, plain and simple, you are going to solve question. And in prelims you think this way, answer is in front of you, you have to identify what is the right answer. There's nothing extra, right? Answer is in front of you. They have given options, they would have mixed up, they mingled, they have confused you. You have to choose which is the right answer. That is the mindset you keep it simple. Don't make it more complex. Got it? As I told, now this will cover largely your static part of polity. So the next class, I think 2 days later, we'll have a current affairs session on polity. Means 1 year current affairs in polity, what has been in news. Okay, that material is already ready. If you have seen in the Telegram channel, I have posted it. that I'll just remove the prelims part. What is it? Because there we have both prelims and mains I have posted it. I'll only here take up the prelims aspect. What are the important? It will be a revision for those who have read, and for those who have not read, you will get to know, okay, what are the important things. Then you will have to write a sectional test on polity. Okay, 100 mark, 100 questions, one sectional test. Any sectional test is fine. Then we'll go into the next subject. Next subject will be modern history. So that will be next week. So that syllabus now only I'm telling. For modern history, you'll have to read the decline of Mughal Empire from there until the 1857 revolt. The decline of Mughal Empire till 1857 revolt. So that will be the syllabus coverage. What you'll have to do for next week for modern history. So I think modern history we don't need so many sessions. I think 2 or 3 sessions will be sufficient. So and then 1857 till 1930 and 1930 till the end. Got it? Understood. So that's what I told. Solve more number of questions. But again, as I told, this only applies to those people who have read once. Without reading, we have not read polity only, but you keep just solving question, that does not help because you need basic content. Got it? So whatever we say is only for those people who have read once and who are going to write the exam coming prelims. So next session I will inform on the group. It will be in 2 days. That will be polity current affairs session. Then next week we will have modern history, Tuesday or Wednesday, the first session of what? 1857 to, sorry, the decline of Mughal Empire to 1857. That is the coverage what you will have to read. It's your source, anything. You can read any notes, Spectrum, Sir's notes, anything, it's fine. But you'll have to get the answers correct.
ಈ ಒಂದು ಡೆಮೋ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇವಾಗ ಮಾರ್ಚ್ 28 ಹಂಗೆ ಇದಿರುತ್ತೆ ಓರಿಯೆಂಟೇಷನ್, ಅದಾದಮೇಲೆ ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ 7 ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಒಂದೆರಡು ಡೆಮೋ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಏನು ಸರ್ ಈ ಹೇಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಮಾತ್ರ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಪ್ರಿಪೇರ್ ಆಗಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ನೀವು ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಯಾರು ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀರ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಓದಿ ಅಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ 6 ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ 6 ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಸರ್ ಅಟೆಂಪ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಬಟ್ ಲಾಜಿಕಲಿ ಕೋಚಿಂಗ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡು ನೀವು ತಿರ್ಗಾ ಲೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಈಗ ನೀವು ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ ಜನವರಿ ಇವಾಗ ನೀವು ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಬೈ ಅಕ್ಟೋಬರ್ ನವೆಂಬರ್ ಡಿಸೆಂಬರ್ ಈ ಆಪ್ಷನ್ ಕ್ಯಾಲ್ಕುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಯಾವ್ದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಟು ಕಾನ್ಸ್ ವೆರಿ only 2 areas where you can follow the HCI and the other area is the option. So better to complete the option by HCI. faculty ಕೊಟ್ಟೆ ಇನ್ನೇ ಗೊತ್ತಾಯ್ತು ಮೊನ್ನೆ ಒಂದು ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಸೊ ಮಾಡಿ ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ